So, you're gonna hear beeping in the background. I finally snapped at my mother today when she was talking about jobs and so forth. Now, I'm going to college, by the way. So, don't even go there about blah 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 about jobs. So, she finally snapped at me. I was like, what happens to a dog when it injures its leg? She wouldn't answer me. And I was like, it rests, in a very harsh tone. She didn't understand that. Well, there have been studies on jobs, specifically what people do the most for jobs. And the human body is not designed to work 8 hours a day. Everyone's like, well, I work 8 hours a day, I'm fucking fine. I'm like, well, most people don't really look into the future of their bodies. They only look into the future of their assets. And your body is an asset, thank you very much. And our bodies are not designed for it. And people just don't even grasp that. And I'm like, well, I want you to move to Florida and ask every single old person what the fuck they hated the most about their life. You know what they said? Their job. Their job, their job, their job. And I said, why don't you quit? Well, I can't. I'm like, why? Because I will lose everything. I'll lose my house, my wife, my kids. I won't be able to pay for anything. I'm like, that is the saddest story anyone's ever told. And it's just so common. We have people in Florida, the general population, by the way, of people in their 50s in horrific pain. This isn't just some kind of, ow, my back hurts. No, they're in their bed, they can hardly crawl to the damn toilet to take a shit, okay? And this is the saddest thing I just ever heard in my life, that this is how it is now. And there's no other way you can change it. Yeah, you go to college and get a part-time job that pays their full-time wage, but not everyone can do that. Not everyone can stand up and say, I'm going to go to college and do this. Because if everyone did that, then everyone would be doing it now. And that's not the case. And it's never going to be the case. And that is the sad truth of it all. And I'm mind-boggled that I'm going to have to be spending my entire life working. My friends, my family, my children are all going to be forced to work. Not voluntarily. Well, they can voluntarily, but they'll have to live on the street. Nothing comfy about living on the street. Sadly. Group homes suck for the mentally disabled. Homeless shelters aren't the greatest things in the world. There's something gotta change. And I've always been against for-profit governments, for-profit institutions, and it scares the living crap out of me that I can't, no one can change this. That no one has designed an idea that is infallible that could change for-profit things. And people are like, well, communism comes close, but I'm like, yeah, but there's forced labor, there's just too much theory in it, way too much theory about how things fix itself. And when you get deep inside the human mind, everyone is always going to look for power. Men who want power will eventually seek it, and that's always how it's going to be. And sometimes the people who are in power are not the greatest, and I think that could be always said in every single person who's ever come in office, because they're not people, they're politicians, they're lawyers. They don't handle things like economics. They don't handle things like agriculture. This is why I don't believe in a head of state, one person. And well, yeah, people are like, well, we have czars and so forth. Well, bureaucracies always fucking fail. They've always. Nothing can ever be streamlined quick enough. When problems can be seen 10 years before they happen, and nothing will be done about it, unless it's for profit. If something is going to harm you, then they don't do shit about it. If nothing's going to harm you, and harm them at least, or the people who've got them in office, they're never going to change what's happening. Or there's not enough money, or there's not enough people looking for that problem, or it just goes on and on and on how this is all interconnected. And people are like, well then, okay, I quit my job, I go on the street, what the hell can I do? Well, I mean, if enough people said fuck it in our military, so a lot of people fuck it in our political sphere, maybe we can change things. But there's no general idea for it. It's like, it's not even people are open their minds to it now, and that's kind of weird, and kind of scary. And then I look into things like, then what can I do that's morally responsible? Now, I've been looking to morally responsible jobs that have like more ethically clean jobs, and I can't find them. If you go deep into something, you will always find that they are always illogical and just immoral when it comes to a job. And I don't know how far I can go into how deep I can go into it in this video, but I'll try to go as far as deep as possible. Let's say I work at Walmart. Now, I'm already going to say Walmart is not the greatest of ethical companies, but what I'm just saying is, okay, I stock the shelves for chicken. Okay, chicken's most likely beaten, blah 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 blah. Okay, let's just say that I buy from Walmart. Now, if you hand a gun to someone who's going to murder someone, did you just commit murder yourself? I've always believed that, in my opinion. If someone were to walk into a store and hand the person $10 for flowers, now that person is related to the mob. At least that company is related to the mob, and those mob uses that money to buy guns. Bing! I believe that everything you do has a consequence. Now, we cannot always balance it out to good. Now, let's say I bought a computer. I'm going to go really into deep this one. I bought a computer from a company. The company gets the parts from another company. That company gets the materials from a middleman. Middleman is shipping that off from another company that has those materials, that's in Africa, that mines it in a mine in a village that beats their workers. You can go very, very far into it. Now, I don't really like those companies. Now, I didn't realize this when I bought a computer. I probably would never have bought a computer if that was the case. Sadly, we are forced to do things that are immorally wrong. Now, some people are like, well, that's illogical. If I gave him the gun and he bought it off me, I can't say anything he did. Nothing I did influenced that. I'm like, well, okay, let's think about it like this. If I were to take a ball and I hit this ball into this mechanical machine, this machine then spits the ball out at 100 miles per hour, the ball is made of steel, at a kid, and it hits the kid in the head and he dies. Didn't I just commit a crime? Yes, I fucking just committed a crime. I just killed a kid. Now it's the same with humans. Now, that machine can't make logical actions, but what if it had a flip? It only had 50-50 chance that it would kill someone. Let's go in 100 million chance it would actually fire that ball at that kid. Look at it. Look at the whole picture, not just a small picture. And that's what people fail to realize. You know, now there's only a small chance of that kid being hit. So if you're selling that gun, and there's 1 in a million chance that that gun is being fired at a child, you can't take that risk. If the computer you buy has a 1 in a billion chance to be mined from a kid who's been whipped to death, who was mined from a kid who was whipped to death, would you take that chance? I would love to hear your comments, by the way. Goodbye. This has been a long video.